Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today we are back. It is week 14. We are getting towards the end of the NFL season. It's flying by. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, we in week 14 and we have our final bye weeks of the season with there being six of them and some key teams on bye week this week. So yeah, before I get into it all, if you guys enjoy, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get the view count, subscriber counts up. So these are my videos I probably do the best, these pick'em videos. So I'm glad and I hope you guys enjoy the videos. And if you do, please show support. It'd be greatly appreciated. But that doesn't matter right now. It's our record. Our record is 118 and 77. Not where you want to be, not the greatest, but it could be worse. I've seen worse on the internet, but 118 and 77 is not the greatest. As for this past week, we went 11 and 5, which same thing, not the greatest, could be better, but also could be much worse. And we are 8 and 5 on the locks and a terrible 3 and 10 on the upset of the weeks. So starting off with an absolute banger of a Thursday night football game, it is the Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. Like bold here, it's bold here, right? Okay. Well, it's my phone. Well, Green Bay, they're coming off a Thanksgiving night blowout win over the Miami Dolphins in the cold. Jordan Love was pretty good. Josh Jacobs was good as usual. The Packers, they're a good football team. They're 9 and 3. They're rolling. Detroit, they're also coming off a Thanksgiving win versus Chicago. Last second, Matt Eberflus messed up the clock management, and Detroit ended up coming away with the win, even though they almost blew it. This Detroit team's hot. They've obviously won 10 in a row, I believe. I think they're 11 and 1. They've won 10 in a row. This is a high octane NFC North matchup. This is basically the Green Bay Packers' last chance. If they want any chance of coming back and winning the NFC North, this is one they have to have. Green Bay lost to them earlier in the year, a few weeks back. I think it was week 9. Both these teams are pretty banged up. Jair Alexander won't play. Romeo Dobbs won't play for the Packers. Levi Onwuzurike, DJ Reader, all those guys won't play. Those guys won't play for the Lions. But I'm going to take Detroit at home on prime time. I think it's size 12 here, bold. At Detroit on prime time, I think the Lions keep rolling and they get this one done, which sets up for they get this win. They go to 12 and 1. They clinch the playoffs and it sets up for next week, week 15. It is potentially the game of the year. It's Buffalo versus Detroit. That will be a treat. That will be an absolute treat, and I'm very excited for that one. But this week, tomorrow night, I think Detroit gets it done versus Green Bay. And then we go to the Sunday slate as it is the New York Jets and Green Bay Packers for the first time this season. I mean, New York Jets and Green Bay Packers. I'm thinking about the Packers. My mind is just not here tonight. I'm sorry. The New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. The Jets, they blew a lead against the Seattle Seahawks last week. Leonard Williams, pick six, the big man pick six, one of the most electric plays of the week. The Jets are a dumpster fire. Aaron Rodgers, he won't be in New York next season. I think that's pretty much set in stone at this point. Him and Woody Johnson, the bridge has been burned at this point. The Jets, they're blowing it up yet again, and they're going to be rebuilding. And yeah, it's the story of the Jets. So they're done. And Aaron Rodgers, he will either retire or he won't be playing for the New York Jets next season. The Miami Dolphins, they're coming off a bad loss against Green Bay on Thursday night Thanksgiving football. So both these teams coming off a loss. The Jets are just a dumpster fire right now, so I'm not picking them. I'm picking the Dolphins. They're the better football team. Tua's playing better than Rodgers. Rodgers, he's been dealing with injuries this season, so we will give him a pass, but he hasn't been playing good football, and the Jets are a dumpster fire. The Dolphins, better football team. Give me them at home. And then, oh, this is a pretty good one. This is a pretty good one. Kirk Cousins returned to Minnesota. It is the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. As I said, it's Kirk Cousins' return. The Falcons, they're cold, cold, cold right now, man. They are cold, cold, cold. The Falcons, the pass rush is abysmal. Matthew Judon, I feel like you haven't heard his name all year. That pass rush needs some help. Braylon Trice was gone for the year. I mean, Rukaroro is coming back very, very soon, so that will be a boost. I mean, that pass rush, it needs help, man. It's bad. It's bad, bad, bad over there in Atlanta. But Minnesota, they can clinch a playoff spot this week as well. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting because the Atlanta Falcons need this game more, obviously, but if the Minnesota Vikings want to catch the Detroit Lions in the NFC North, they're going to need to win this one. So I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm not taking all home teams, so it was autofill. I'm going to take the Vikings here. Better defense, both serviceable quarterbacks. Obviously, the Falcons have the quarterback advantage, they have the running back advantage, they have the offensive advantage overall, I'd say. But Brian Flores, man, he should get some head coach interviews definitely in this cycle because he was a good head coach at Miami, quite frankly. I think the bridge was burned with him and Tua, and that's the reason he got axed in Miami. Him and Tua did not have the greatest relationship, but I still think he can be a good head coach in this league, man. He has that Vikings defense absolutely rolling, and give me the Vikings. They got to come from behind winning against Arizona last week. I think they're going to do it again. And Atlanta, watch out for Tampa Bay. Atlanta can't sweep Tampa Bay and still not win the division. How is that even possible? But yeah, give me the Vikings. And then we have a pretty boring game, I'd say. It is Darren Rizzi and the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. The Saints, they're coming off a loss to the Rams this past Sunday. Darren Rizzi suffered his first loss as interim head coach, but the Saints, they look like a rejuvenated team. Derek Carr's playing better ball since when Dennis Allen was head coach. I mean, they look like they're having more fun. Saints, they're better with Darren Rizzi than they were with Dennis Allen. The interim head coach always gives a juice to the team, and I will always believe that. They're going to MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants, who are just a dumpster fire right now. Can't say enough about them. Drew Lock started on Thanksgiving. Tommy DeVito still not good to go. Drew Lock will start again in this game, and I'm going to take the Saints. The Giants, I'm not sold on the Giants. I mean, Drew Lock, he's not right. He's not gonna. The Saints, they're just the better football team here. Derek Carr is playing the better football than either of the Giants quarterbacks. Give me the Saints. I don't really have much to say about that. And then, could this be a trap game? Could it be a trap game? It is the Carolina Panthers and Philadelphia Eagles. The Panthers, they're coming off a heartbreaking overtime loss versus Tampa Bay. Bryce Young, every single week I come on this show and I say, Bryce Young, you're looking better. I'm very happy for Bryce Young, man. He looks happy out there. He's playing better ball. He's more confident. Happy for him, man. After the benching, he's playing better football. Going into Philadelphia, who they are red hot. Red hot. And it's in Lincoln Financial Field, so I have to pick the Eagles here. But Carolina, I think Carolina could keep this close, to be honest. I think Carolina's been playing better football. They look rejuvenated. They look like they're having more fun. I think they could do it. So yeah. And then we have an AFC North rematch from 2 weeks ago. It is Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns, they're coming off a pretty heartbreaking loss where they scored a lot of points. We had vintage Jameis Winston in that game where he throws for 450 yards, a few touchdowns, and a few touchdowns to the defense. So pretty vintage Buccaneers, Jameis Winston in that game. And they're going to Pittsburgh, who they're coming off a win versus we're not going to name the team. We're not going to name the team right now, but they're coming off a win versus that team, and I'm going to take them again. I'm gonna take them again. Tomlin has those guys rolling. I was watching Tomlin on Hard Knocks the other day, and oh, I I I hate to say it. I really hate to say it as a Bengals fan. I hate to say it, but I just love Mike Tomlin. I hate to say it. I love Mike Tomlin as a Bengals fan, but it really sucks. It really sucks that I do. But yeah, the Steelers are gonna win this game. They're gonna get their revenge on Cleveland. They're at home this time, 1 p.m. They're gonna get it done. They're gonna get it done. Russell Wilson. They need to keep pace with Baltimore, and they need to make room for themselves in that division. So they're gonna do it. Pittsburgh's gonna win this game. And then it is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Raiders, they're coming off another loss, a pretty heartbreaking one to say the least, on Black Friday versus Kansas City. Aiden O'Connell, bad snap from Jackson Powers Johnson's snap is fumbled by AOC. Chiefs fall on it. Chiefs win. The voodoo magic strikes again, and the Chiefs are 11-1. But the Raiders put up a pretty good fight. I said it last week. I said that game could be close, and the Raiders always play the Chiefs very, very close in Arrowhead Stadium. So I kind of predicted that. But the Chiefs voodoo magic, they escape again, and they're going to Tampa Bay, who got an overtime win versus the Carolina Panthers last week in a pretty gut wrenching game for Carolina. I mean, that was a pretty good game. That might have been the game of the day on Sunday. One of them. That was a very good football game. But I'm gonna take Tampa Bay here. I mean, I don't even know why I'm rambling about this. Tampa Bay's gonna win this game. They have the better offense. They have the better defense. I mean, not a great defense, but they have the better defense. They're the better football team. They have something to play for right now. Baker Mayfield's tough. He's gritty. The Buccaneers are gonna win this game. They're at home. I mean, give me Tampa. And then we have an AFC South matchup. I believe these two haven't played yet. It's the first matchup between these two this season, but it is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. The Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence was placed on IR today, and he is done for the season. Obviously, there's two reasons for that. Main reason being the shoulder injury that he suffered. They're shutting him down for the season. Jacksonville has nothing to play for. It's only a matter of time now before Doug Peterson gets canned. So Mac Jones, it's his job for the rest of the way. As Trevor Lawrence got shut down for the year. Obviously, the Al-Shaair hit. Um, Granted, Aziz Al-Shaair got a 3-game suspension, and Trevor Lawrence went to concussion protocol, and he's officially done for the year. They're going to Tennessee, who was coming off a pretty bad loss versus Washington last week. Washington walked in and stomped them for 4 quarters. So yeah, Tennessee's coming off a pretty bad loss, and I'm gonna take an upset here. I'm gonna take the Mac Jones Jaguars to get this done. I'm gonna take Mac Jones led Jacksonville Jaguars to get this done. And both these teams have nothing to play for. I think Doug Peterson's mainly playing for his job at this point, and it won't be this week because I don't think they can fire someone off of a loss. So I don't think they would do that. And Doug Peterson probably survives another week after a win, but it's only a matter of time. Jacksonville, Doug Peterson's gonna be gone. It's gonna be a new head coach for Trevor, and it will be better times ahead. Next up, this is an intriguing one right here. It is the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Again, these two played 2 weeks ago in Lumen Field, and Seattle came away in a pretty defensive game. I believe the score was 16-6 or 16-13. It was a defensive game. I remember that. Arizona's defense played well. Seattle's defense played well. I think Kobe Bryant had a pick six that game. That's what I remember about it. But Seattle, they're in the driver's seat in the NFC West right now. Mike McDonald, he has those guys playing some good football with the cover behind winning against the Jets last week to secure a good win. Arizona, this is a do or die for them. They want to win this division. This division is jam packed tight. In Arizona last week, they blew a lead against the Minnesota Vikings. They looked like they were in the driver's seat to go and win that game. But then Sam Darnold and the boys came back and they rallied back and they ended up winning the game. This one's in State Farm Stadium. And I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I think these two split on the season. The Arizona Cardinals are gonna get this done, and they are gonna go back in the driver's seat of the AFC. I mean, in the NFC West, I believe, with this win. So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. Next, it is the game, the America's Game of the Week on Fox. Brady and Burt are on the call. It is the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. The Buffalo Bills have your MVP quarterback right now under center. The front runner for MVP because I think Saquon Barkley should be the MVP front runner, but the MVP nowadays is a quarterback's award. There's no denying that. Josh Allen is the MVP front runner right now. He has those Buffalo Bills rolling. They haven't lost since week 5 versus Houston, and they are rolling and he's playing like an MVP. Obviously, the Amari Cooper lateral to Josh Allen. Collinsworth was loving that on Sunday Night Football. And they kicked the brakes out of the San Francisco 49ers for 4 quarters. So, yeah. And they're going to LA. The Rams are coming off of a win versus the New Orleans Saints. And this is a pretty good matchup here. Both these teams will probably play close. Sean McVay versus Sean McDermott, the battle of the Seans. And oof, this is tough. This one's tough, man. This one's really tough because Buffalo's hot. But in another mind, one shoulder says Buffalo's due for a loss. Sean McVay at home. Do not bet against him. The other shoulder says the Buffalo Bills are a much better team than the Los Angeles Rams and have the MVP frontrunner at quarterback right now. And I'm going to listen to the Rams side. I'm going to listen to the Rams side. I'm going to take LA in a big, big upset, a big, big win for their NFC West hopes. And I think they still have hope in the division. I mean, the division's obviously jam tight, and any of those 4 teams can win it right now, pretty much besides San Francisco, who we're going to talk about right now, actually. San Francisco lost McCaffrey, and they lost Ayuk for the year, obviously, earlier in the year. Injuries, injuries, injuries everywhere, and those Niners those Niners are going to need some help. So, but we're going to talk about them right now. As next up, we have the Chicago Bears and San Francisco 49ers. The Bears, Matt Eberflus, Gonzo, out the door. Thomas Brown, welcome to interim head coach. The Chicago Bears are now led by Thomas Brown, former NFL running back. He was the interim offensive coordinator before when Shane Waldron got canned. And interim head coach brings juice. I will always say that interim head coach brings juice. So that'll be interesting to see. But I don't know. Kyle Shanahan at home here. They're going to San Francisco, where McCaffrey's done for the year. Pretty much, unless they make the playoffs, McCaffrey's probably done for the year. Jordan Mason went to IR. Ayuk's already been done for the year. I mean, there's a lot of problems over there. There's a lot of problems. Nick Bosa's been injured. Trent Williams has been injured. There's a lot of problems. Hmm. This one's tough, but I'm gonna take the Niners. I'm gonna take the Niners at home. Like I said, for all 4 NFC West teams, division's jammed tight, and any 4 of these teams can still win it. I know I just said the Niners can't, but the Niners believe they still can. I mean, they have technically still have a fighting shot. Brock Purdy's still the quarterback. George Kittle's still playing. Debo Samuel's still playing. So they still have playmakers. I mean, Trent Williams will probably eventually get healthy. Nick Bosa will get healthy eventually. They'll get guys back. But right now, it's looking rocky. It's looking bad for their health as a team. And I'm going to take the Niners in this one to get a nice rebound win after the blowout loss versus Buffalo. And then Sunday night football. It's Herbert versus Mahomes. Collinsworth's going to love this one. It is the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers, they're coming off a win where Kirk Cousins threw them 4 interceptions. Tarheeb still had a crazy good game. But they're 8-4. John Harbaugh has those guys buzzing. Herbert's playing some good football, mistake-free football. And it really was the Chargers defense that led them to that win against Atlanta. Offense didn't really do much. Herbert didn't play an outstanding game. He played an efficient game. He played a solid game, but it wasn't outstanding. But they got the win. That's really all that matters. They're going to Kansas City, who keep escaping the voodoo magic. And they're 11-1. They're coming off a division win versus the Raiders, where did they really play that well? No. Did they win the football game? Yeah, good teams find ways to win. And I probably said the same exact thing previewing this game in week 4. These two teams always play close, no matter how good these two football teams are. The Chargers and the Chiefs, they play twice a year, obviously, in the AFC West. They play close. But I'm going to take the Chiefs to sweep. I think they're the better football team. I think they're chasing that 1 seed. And I think that they are not going to allow Buffalo to even come close to catching them. And they just want to run away with it at this point. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs to get it done. And then we have the final game of the weekend, Monday Night Football. I'm a Bengals fan. This one is miserable. This is a bad one right here. It is the Bengals and the Cowboys. Let's start off with the Cowboys. I'm the rant about the Bengals. The Cowboys, they're coming off a Thanksgiving win versus the Giants. Both teams didn't play very well, but Cooper Rush did enough to win, and they won the football game. That's pretty much what happened. Dallas won 2 in a row. They're starting to gain some momentum right now, and this one's Monday Night Football in Jerry World. So that'll be interesting. Rico Dowdle had a pretty good game. I mean, the Bengals are going to have a lot of problems with Rico Dowdle and CeeDee Lamb, but we'll see how that goes. But the Bengals, Burrow, I apologize to Joe Burrow, man. Obviously, at this point, I've picked him for weeks in a row now, and Joe Burrow's playing his heart out. Jamar Chase, he might win the Triple Crown. There's still a chance he doesn't because Brock Bowers in the lead in receptions now, but he might win the Triple Crown. Jamar Chase is balling out. T. Higgins is playing good football. Joe Burrow, he would be the MVP front runner if his team was 8-4. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. The Steelers, they outcoached Mike Tomlin, outcoached Zach Taylor. Nick Herbig and TJ Watt were running laps around our offensive line. Cam Hayward played good as always. And the defense, man. I'm so tired of watching Geno Stone take terrible angles. I'm so tired of watching Sam Hubbard get zero pass rush efficiency. I'm so tired of watching Trey Hendrickson do literally everything. Logan Wilson now potentially done for the year. Jermaine Pratt missing tackles left and right, taking no accountability in press conferences. Cam Taylor Brett made a pick six play at the beginning of the game, one of his better games this season, even. He was still cooked. Josh Newton got cooked all day. He's one I'll give a he's a fifth round rookie. I'll give a pass to him. I mean, Jesus, this defense, it's just abysmal. Geno Stone, Bengals Geno Stone. The Ravens absolutely hosed us for Geno Stone, man. He is so bad. He's so bad. I mean, the only guys you can really confidently build around this defense for the future are Trey Hendrickson and Logan Wilson. Chris Jenkins Jr. will obviously be here. He's a rookie. He'll give him more time. BJ Hill, I like. He can be back. He's due for a contract. I think he could come back. Sam Hubbard can come back, but if he wants to take a restructured contract, I mean, like, man, there's no pass rush efficiency there. Lou Anarumo, it might be time for you to get fired, man. I'm sorry. It might be time. We had some good moments, but these are the bad moments. It's time to give the young guys a chance. Time to give Miles Murphy chances. It's time to give Maimon and John Meta a chance. It's time to give Shaka Hayward a chance. It's time to give Tyson Anderson. It's time to give Dejon Anthony. It's time to continue giving Josh Newton. It's time to continue giving those young guys snaps. With that being said, I'm gonna take the Bengals. I think they're gonna win this game. Burrow's gonna do enough for them to win this game, and the defense will get cooked. Both these teams will score over 30, but the Bengals will come out with a win, and that's all I gotta say. Give me the Bengals with my lock of the week being Tampa Bay over Las Vegas, and my upset of the week being the Rams over Buffalo. So yeah, those are the picks. Let's get into the power rankings. And here are the Week 14 power rankings with the top four not changing at all. Lions, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, clearly the top four teams in the National Football League, and there's really not debating that. Pittsburgh moved up to 2 spots with the win over the Bengals. Minnesota stays at 6. Green Bay goes up 1. Ravens go down 3. Justin Tucker looks like a big liability. They're on the bye week right now. They shouldn't move much next week. Denver into the top 10. They remain in the top 10 with the win over Cleveland. Chargers, they go down 1. Commanders, they inch back up closer to the top 10 with a good performance, but they're still not quite in that top 10. They go up 4. Houston doesn't move. Seattle goes down 2 with the win. don't take that too much into account. I mean, if they had some fluke plays, they could have lost to the Jets. That's kind of what I thought about that, but don't take Seattle going down into account. They can still easily move back up. Cardinals one spot below them. Rams, three NFC West teams back to back. Miami, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Atlanta just keeps dropping and dropping. Niners go to 20. Bengals stay at 21. I don't know if we're going past that all year at this point. Cleveland at 22. They scored a lot of points. Defense didn't look well, but Jameis, he played well enough. I mean, Jerry Jeudy was great. They go up to Bears, Saints, Cowboys, and Jets stay the same. Panthers and Titans flip flop spots, and the bottom four stays the exact same. So yeah, those are the power rankings, and yeah, it's week 14. I can't believe it already, and we're just pretty much getting towards the end of the NFL season at this point. Playoffs are right around the corner. It's pretty crazy to say because we've talked about so much this season already, and we picked so many games. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, be greatly appreciated. I'll see you next time. It's 365 Analytics, and have a good night. See you later.